Live from NexCore in St. Louis, I'm Vic Porcelli. This is the St. Louis Small Business Independence Day celebration. And I can't think of a better example of what we're trying to show here during this streamathon than our next guest, Stefan West from Black Wall Street. Stefan, first of all, thanks so much for being with us. I know you're all the way out in LA, so I appreciate you coming in with us from LA.
Thank you guys for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Now, what you do is promote Black-owned businesses. Tell us how you do that.
Okay, so we created about 5 years ago, we created an internet challenge called the Black Wall Street Challenge. And basically what we do is we seek out small Black businesses to shop with, and we highlight them on our platforms. And we actually spend money with these businesses, and then we challenge that business to go spend money with another Black business, hence the name Black Wall Street Challenge.
And I think it's just a perfect way to show. We've talked to people like Jennifer Hayes, a local abstract artist, who said that you'd think that another artist would be competition, but here in St. Louis, there's a camaraderie and a willingness to help each other, even if we're in the same business.
I agree. That's kind of the same mentality we have at the Black Wall Street Challenge. We are not competing with each other. We are actually we help each other. We build off of each other, and that business that would go shop with another Black business, what they're doing is they're circulating these dollars amongst each other to help create more jobs. So it's not anywhere near a competition at all. It actually benefits each other, and it creates a healthy ecosystem for all business.
And you bring up jobs. I mean, that's one thing right now that people need are jobs. And this is something that if it's a intended effect or not, it's a great effect of not only helping out Black-owned businesses, but creating jobs.
Yes, creating jobs. Creating jobs is at the core of it because, when we create more Black business opportunity for more Black businesses to thrive, and we create more jobs, that creates more opportunities in those neighborhoods, in those areas, and that also helps generate more tax dollars. And those tax dollars help the schools, the infrastructure, they help the property value. And that all helps lower crime and poverty and unemployment. So the Black Wall Street Challenge is our way of trying to combat the real core issues that plague our city, like crime and unemployment and poverty. And by challenging other Black businesses to shop with each other and challenging people to shop with these Black businesses, it helps to create more opportunities for more Black business. Like we were talking before we got on air about, different sides of St. Louis. Like let's look at Cherokee Street right now. Cherokee Street right now is kind of like the epicenter for Latin culture. And it all started with just one spot. Same with out there on Olive in U City. It started out with one Asian spot, and now they have grocery stores. They've got a bank, So it's the same mindset that we're trying to do, but we're just we're focusing on and trying to do that in the Black community. So it's the same thing. It's just we're doing it the same way. So
as simplistic as it sounds, you come to eat at my restaurant, I'll come eat at yours.
Yeah, that's pretty much that's the gist of it,
All right. Now, let's a couple of times in this interview, I want to get out a website that people, if they want to get involved or get some of that cool merch like you're wearing there that says "I Heart Black-Owned Businesses." Okay. How do we get stuff like that and get involved with you, Stefan?
Okay, so I've got quite a few platforms. We actually have blackwallstreetchallenge.com, which is actually takes you to our YouTube channel. But if you go to our Facebook group, The Black Wall Street Challenge, or our IG page, Black Wall Street Challenge, you can reach out to me directly, and we can ship merch all over the world. So this is actually one of our hottest shirts right now, our hottest items.
Can't see how it can't be.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about here in St. Louis, where you've done a lot of work. Tell me a success story or two about a Black-owned business that you walked into, you spent some money, and then you did the pay it forward thing, and you spend money in another Black-owned business. Give me a couple of examples, Stefan.
Okay, so one particular business that I frequented a lot prior to COVID-19 was Sweetheart. Sweetheart is a Black-owned, vegan, vegetarian-friendly bakery, but they also sell food as well. So uh, with Sweetheart, I would go there so much and I would post a lot. So a lot of my fan base and followers go to Sweetheart. I like that's the place where if you're familiar with the show Cheers back in the day, how Norm would, and everybody knew Norm and everybody knew these guys that were regulars. I'm like that. I'm like the Norm of Sweetheart. There's
I
quite a
don't want
few.
I don't want to interrupt you, but that what you just said there is the essence of what we're doing here this weekend. The small business where you walk in and they say, "Hey, Vic, how you doing?" I say, "Hey, Stefan, how are you?" There's nothing better than that. That's Americana.
Nothing better than that, and that's a great feeling, especially when you frequent somewhere like that. That's what I love about a lot of small businesses in St. Louis, the ones that I frequent. I mean, you get to know everyone from the owner on down to the guy busting the tables or sweeping the floors, and you feel like you're at home when you go.
We talked a little bit before we got on the air, just talking about different areas and how things work. The Hill in St. Louis, Italian section of town, I guess you could say, probably not as much now as it was 20, 30 years ago, but there's not, I don't think, a national chain store on the entire Hill.
Nope, don't think there is, especially not a restaurant. I know they have a Snooks close to the Hill, but other than that, I don't think there's any major chain anything over there, which is good. I mean, that's actually really good for that area, and it keeps it kind of grounded and closer to the people,
Yeah. I mean, DeGregorio's Market, I walk in there and they'd know me not only would they know me by name, Stefan, but they knew I wanted mozzarella and I wanted hot peppers and I wanted something that they call insalata scasciati, an Italian salad. And there's nothing better that you can't get in a big box store, black or white owned. You can't get that in a big box store.
That is a fact. Speaking of the Hill, there's a place that I used to frequent all the time before I became all the way plant-based, Joe Fozzie's. I love that place.
Sure.
That was a really cool place. It's like a sandwich shop, and it gives you that feel too. You go in there. I went in there. I think by the third time I went in there, the guy knew what I wanted.
Right,
and I love it. Who doesn't love that kind of acknowledgement when you go into these small businesses? I mean, and then on the other side of that coin is the owners and the people that work there, but the owners mainly and the families that run, they value their customer, and you can feel it when you walk in the door. I love it.
My favorite place to eat on the Hill is Canetto's House of Pasta. And not too long ago, maybe a few months ago or so, my family and I went to go see Wicked at the Fox Theater, stopped at Canetto's House of Pasta because it was a matinee show. And Frank Canetto, the owner, is walking around table to table, and then he saw me and he was like, "Jack, how you doing?" And he knows what I want all the time. And I love Canetto's because it's family owned, it's small, and it looks like a mob hit can happen there at any time. Right. All right. So again, let's give out the website again. Or let's see if I can remember. See how good I am here. BlackWallStreetChallenge.com. It takes you to the YouTube channel. The Black Wall Street Challenge takes you to the Facebook page.
Yes, the Facebook page is really great because it's interactive. So we use it as kind of like a platform to share information. So say if someone was looking for a Black-owned business, any kind of service, they can ask. So you just ask for recommendations and people chime in and they say, hey, and they list either, somewhere that they frequent or just a place they've heard of. And it's really, really helpful. It's a great tool.
And can people message you there and you get back to them relatively quickly?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You can message me. I get tons of messages all the time. I get people tagging me in. Every time a new business opens up, they tag me. I got people that they're too, I guess it's almost like having too much connection with people because they just like send me messages like, hey, can you tell me where this is? Or have you heard of this or that? But I love it though, because it gives me an opportunity to share some of the data and information that I've collected over the last 5 years when it comes to Black-owned businesses in St. Louis.
And if you just scroll down, you could see businesses you've been to and
Oh yeah.
suggestions for people to go to. And that probably scrolls on forever and ever, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. For the last 5 years. Yep.
All right, fabulous. Um, you know, Stefan, when I found out I was going to talk to you, I had a feeling before we even spoke that you were going to be the essence of this whole weekend, because
Oh.
what we're trying to do here this week is to promote small businesses to people who, after the pandemic hit, didn't decide to quit and said, I can't do this anymore. Instead, they persevered and they were going to make it. And, you know, if more people, Black-owned businesses or not, had more people like you to help out, I think we'd start bouncing back as a community here financially and fiscally.
I agree. I agree. I mean, I don't know anyone that's doing it exactly the way I'm doing it, but I do know people recently, as of recent, that are attempting to promote and help market these businesses, these local businesses, which is really cool because it's been a long time coming, and to see other people get involved in it more now, really, really, to me, I love it. I vibe off that energy because to me, I think it's the best thing for our city when it comes to just creating jobs. You know, I mean, people think that you have to rely on government systems for these when it's really just quite simple. It's just shopping in your local area. I mean, shopping at these mom and pop spots and, you know, and keeping these dollars in your local neighborhoods, you know?
Right. And is there a cross-reference kind of thing on the Facebook page if somebody is looking for a job, maybe at one of these Black-owned businesses?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's actually quite a few places that post and ask, you know, look for employees. I Some of the work that I do, I also do a lot of ballot initiatives and things like that around the city. I use it to find workers all the time. You know? So it's so it has so many different uses. It's amazing. I love it.
All right, Stefan, give me a Black restaurant to go eat at, Black-owned business restaurant to go eat in.
Ooh, let me see.
Your
Okay,
favorite. Wait, it's got to be your favorite.
Okay. I'm gonna give you my 3 favorite Black-owned restaurants in our area.
Writing them down now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. First one, I would have to say, Sweet Art. Sweet Art Bake Shop. It's on 39th Street in the Tower Grove neighborhood. That's one of my favorites. The second one is in the Central West End. It's called Bait, and it's right on Lindell, next to the Phillips 66. That's Boyle and Lindell right there.
What do they serve? We know that Sweet Art is a vegan place.
Bait serves a little bit of everything. It's mainly seafood, but they
Okay.
have a really good vegan menu as well.
Okay.
So I go there a lot. And then my last place, which is definitely not the least, is Teatopia. Teatopia is right on Cherokee. It's as soon as you turn off Jefferson on Cherokee going, I believe that's west, but it's on your left-hand side. But it's a wonderful place. They sell smoothies. They sell a lot of vegan food. They sell a lot of teas. I mean, he's got teas from all over the world. This guy has a PhD in teas. I mean, you could just go in there and ask him about any tea and he has it. So that's another good place. And right next door is Hop Shop. So that's a really good place to find a lot of good beers that are imported from all over the world as well. So those are my top 4.
So, Stefan, I'm assuming you are vegan.
I am.
Okay.
I like to say plant-based though, because vegans get a little, they get a little.
I am an unhealthy meat eater. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We have 2 minutes left, Stefan. So, in just about 1 minute, can you tell us briefly the origination of this, the Tulsa story that we were talking about before we got on?
Yeah.
About a minute.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, the Black Wall Street Challenge was named after Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma, which was referred to as Little Africa, or AKA the Black Wall Street. It was a very prominent side of town. So a lot of people don't understand that after slavery, Black people could only shop with Black people. And what that did was that created a lot of wealthy Black people. They had to have their own insurance companies, busing companies, banks, grocery stores, hospitals, anything you could think of, it had to be Black. So this side of town was destroyed behind allegations of a Black male assaulting a white woman. And it was the only time in the history of the country that they have used their own, we've used American planes to bomb American soil. So that's, you can look that up. It happened in 1921.
Wow.
Yeah, so it happened quite some time ago, but the blemish is still there. And a lot of people, they don't really share that information in school. You got to kind of dig for that kind of stuff. But it's a very tragic story. It's a story I learned about at a young age. I was always infatuated with it. So this is how I came up with this challenge, in a way to educate people and teach people to be better and to make the world better.
Love it. Stefan West from Black Wall Street Challenge. You can get it, the Black Wall Street Challenge on Facebook, the best way to do that. Stefan West, it's been a pleasure to meet you. It's been a pleasure to know you. And it's been a pleasure to learn about something that I didn't know about until tonight. I was this years old when I found out about what you do. Thank you for being with us, okay?
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
You bet, anytime. Stefan West in our St. Louis Small Business Independence Day celebration, live from NexCore. I'm Vic Porcelli. Stick around. There's a lot more to come for the rest of the night tonight. And peace out, Stefan. And tomorrow as well. So thanks so much for being with us.